Howdy doody everybody, today we are talking about the armor in Monster Hunter Stories 2. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to play the demo. If you haven't, the demo's out today for you guys to get your hands on. But I'm here with Eric to talk about our experiences with the armor. So far, have you built any of the armors?
I have. Yeah, I made a few. I've been I did the old typical thing where I crafted a set and then I discovered a monster. I was like, oh no, this new armor set is not as good as my last one, so I haven't gone back. But yeah, I made a few. I made Kechawacha, I've made Puke, I made Yankaku. There are a few of my starter sets.
Yeah. So out of those ones, which one do you feel like you spent the most time in?
I actually spent the most time in Puke just because, like, early on in the game, you know, it's typical Monster Hunter thing, whether it's stories, whether it's like Rise, whatever Monster Hunter game it is, it's just like, I can make an armor set to give me a bit more defense. So I used that for a while, and I kind of just like the look of it. I mean, Puke armors, it's one of those funny things where in regular Monster Hunter, I'm just like, Puke armor's cool, but it doesn't like jump out at me. But in stories, it just looks really cool. I love what they've done with it. Walking around with like the assassin hood was looking super cool. So I've been wearing that for a lot. The whole sort of, for a good chunk of my early gameplay, it was like I was riding Puke, wearing Puke armor, using Puke weapon. It's basically a Puke fanboy.
Obviously we would love to show you the whole menu with every single armor and go in depth on every single armor, but this is a preview phase of Monster Hunter Stories 2, so we can't go too much in depth or Capcom will come for our necks, and that won't be a good day. So, but we will show you off what we can, and I think one of my favorite armors that I've experienced so far is the Tetsukabra. Did you end up building this? Because I know that this uses a completely different system than the normal one that we're used to for building armor, where you get parts. This one uses something called bottle caps that you can find in the Everdens. So, did you end up building this one?
That's for No, so the Tetsukabra one comes from regular building, right? But the Kechawacha one that I've got...
Oh, no, it's the Kechawacha that comes from it. The Kechawacha
what happened with... Because when we were discussing it...
Yeah,
well, the Tetsukabra one looks awesome, right? Yeah. But when we were discussing it, like, TwoSix made the Tetsu armor, I made the Kecha armor, and then I was like, oh, wait, I remember I liked Tetsu armor, but it was just, like, not as good as the Kecha one. I mean, you know, comparatively speaking. So I was like, I'll stick with it. But yeah, Kecha was cool. So, like, bottle caps, for anyone that hasn't sort of, you know, isn't aware, whenever you're just roaming around, you have dens and you have Everdens, and in there you can kind of just collect like an additional resource which you can then use to get something from a different vendor, and that's where you can also get some fun layered bits. But yeah, I got the Kechawacha armor like super early, like literally in the first town, because I collected enough bottle caps. It's kind of cool. The armor's got like Divine Blessing on it as well, which I feel like is a nice comfy blanket, especially early in the game.
Yeah, so the armors come with like one skill. I don't know if they towards the end game that you get like more of that. We're only like at the start of the game so far, and we're only allowed to show you up to basically what is considered chapter 2 essentially. So until we get further in the game, we won't know if there's like more skills that you can get on there and on the armor sets, but the skills that you do get seem to be quite like beneficial as well. Actually, no, that being said, I know there are some sets with actually like 2 skills on them, like a major skill and a minor skill, so maybe we can even get even more skills on
I feel like stuff. Yeah, because there's three slots for there. Like, I mean, Kechawacha, for example, has got Divine Blessing, evasion, and then an empty slot, so I'm guessing like later on we'll probably get a few more, which will be super cool.
Yeah, so there you go, you can get probably around like 3 skills on there. Some of the skills that I've seen are Salt in the Wound, health boost, like heroics, some evasion stuff on there as well. So these are skills that work pretty well for what you're doing at any given moment. But there are like small versions and large versions, and the small versions seems like they just never proc. So try to aim for those like large versions if when you do get a game anyway. So out of that, is there any armors that you've experienced like post like chapter 2 that we can talk about?
Post, I mean, obviously we can't show them, but like I went out of my way to get Zamtrios. Like, I'm a Zamtrios fanboy, right? So I went out of my way to get Zamtrios armor, which obviously, I mean, if you guys have played Monster Hunter before, you'll know what that looks like anyway. That looks super cool. And then I think, in fact, no, it wasn't even post. This was pre. Like a couple of other cool ones we've seen. Like we got to fight. I think it's towards the end of chapter 1, or just as you're beginning chapter 2. Is Duramboros. His armor is really cool, right?
Yeah, Duramboros' armor is like really cool. I love the way that it's got like this kind of horn on the top almost as well, and it's got like that earthy look. And one of the systems that's really cool about it, and is carried over from more so the old Monster Hunter games or any other Monster Hunter game, is that you can change the colors that you have on your armor into the different sections, which is, if you're used to a Monster Hunter game, you'll be used to. But in this one, it seems like the panels that they have that you can change are way more robust, and you can change basically the whole armor. There are certain armors that are still restrictive in the way that you would expect, but in this one you can kind of change the complete aesthetic of some armors, and it works out pretty well. Yeah.
I mean, I was super like, even early game, like some of the basic sets, they're pretty forgiving, which is super cool. I feel like it's adopted more of like the system we have like in Rise, where you get the double pigment. Like a lot of the time, traditional Monster Hunter used to just be like change one pigment kind of thing, whereas now it's like change two, mixed around. So yeah, there's I feel like there's a decent degree of customization, and then factoring in, I haven't got them myself, but when you factor in the layered pieces as well, I think there's a fair amount, especially considering you can't mix and match armor. You are just crafting an armor set. I'd say, given that limitation, there's a fair amount of customization.
Yeah. And obviously you can get layered armor, as Alex said there. I've been rocking the Kimura armor. You guys know I love the Kimura armor from all the videos that I've done. I think it's like so good. You can literally just go to your box and like put that on, and it will be
I
there.
can't wear that yet because I'm playing on PC, so I don't have the save file yet.
Oh no.
I'm missing out. That's the one I wanted as well. I have to probably play on Switch.
Yeah, so the Kimura armor looks so good. Obviously I was gifted that at the start of the game as I booted up my save file, so if you do have that, that is great if you've got your Rise save file. But if there's any armor that you want to see or want to know about, then let us know. I'll try to get some content uploaded for you if we can upload there. There was a bunch of questions on yesterday's video about stuff, and I tried to answer as many as possible. Somebody asked if you could rename your monsters after you've captured them, and you can do that. You can do that as many times as possible. So definitely put these down in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as much as possible. And the people that were hyped about stories did come out in droves yesterday. I was like, where is all the stories hype? Hopefully you guys have had, as I said at the start of the video, more chance to play it and experience it yourself. You can let me know what you think of the game so far from what you've actually played. And I think it's, yeah. I'll have to wait until the review embargo is lifted to tell you what I properly think of the game, and I'll let you sit on that until a later date. But it would be nice to know what you guys think of it once you get your hands on it. But Alex,
definitely.
What videos are going out today on the main channel?
Today, we already have some, basically a run through the beginning of the demo, the stories demo. Got a Scarlet Nexus video going up today, and then tomorrow we'll be taking a look at some of the weapons in the Stories 2 demo.
Yeah. So later on, we'll probably have some more gameplay for you guys uploaded on my channel, and you guys can maybe help me decide. Would you rather see a fight between Rathian, Nagakuga, what's the other ones? It's like
Duramboros,
yeah,
or Yankaku. Yangaruga.
Yangaruga. So you guys can pick that video on what you want to see, and yeah, I'll try to get that uploaded for you guys as quickly as possible. And don't forget, there is an event quest in Monster Hunter Rise today, so I'll be back with Paradise to cover that for you guys as well. Thank you for all the subs. We had an explosion of subs yesterday, so people do seem excited for stories, and we'll be back with more videos later on in the day for you guys. Anyway guys, bye bye.
See you later.